Hello, everyone. I want to go and talk to you about primary and secondary groups today. We'll be discussing primary first, and then we'll move on to secondary groups, and then some examples in what consists of different variables within these groups. The first one is primary, and it's basically the main purpose is to give people a way to fulfill their needs to associate with others. So we can look at several aspects of needs of people. I know we've discussed Maslow's hierarchy. We can sort of bring that into this. But basically, it's primary, singular when we're talking about primary, is to fulfill basic needs. And when we think about basic needs, we're sometimes thinking about family. It can also be friends and social aspects of things. So these are stuff that, as humans, it's in our nature to make sure that we connect. So when we're looking at family, it's not as structured. It's informal communication when we are talking with family. Now, again, we do have the dynamics that different families have different communication styles and formalities, but in general, it's informal. And then we look at the concept of, or within their friends and social aspects of primary groups. And obviously, this is to meet and fulfill the primary need of interaction. Um, so I would say like that social communication aspect of connecting with friends, whether it's small talk or more in depth of regarding connection. Now, the good thing is that we're doing this on a daily day basis, whether you're hanging out with family or friends, and this is primary. It's not structured. Communication flows back and forth. Now, let's move on to secondary groups. And when we're looking at secondary groups, they're a little bit more structured. When I say structured, they're formal. Now, when we structure things and it's formal, we're doing it to attain something. A lot of times, this is connected to a task or to achieve a goal. And some of you are probably automatically thinking, oh, work or school. And you're right, and you're correct. When we are communicating within these types of settings, we are a little bit more structured when we communicate, for the most part. And then we mainly join secondary groups to get something done. So if you think about it, we can also look at teams here, and we won't jump into there yet, but you join a team or a group as a secondary group to do something. So let's say if you want to lose weight, you'll join, I don't know, a CrossFit group or a cycling group and so forth. So there's a goal and you're trying to achieve it. Although there might be formal and informal communication, but in general, that's what you'll be doing. Now, secondary groups have several things that they try to accomplish. It could be problem solving, it could be decision making, it could be a study group, therapy group, it could be committee work at work, it could be focus groups that we've heard about. So let's start off with the top. Let's say problem solving. Whenever we're in a group, a secondary group that deals with problem solving, that might be one of the factors. Let's say you're working at IKEA, at a financial advisement company. There are certain problems that are unsatisfactory, and what you're trying to do is create some solutions. Now, within your group, let's say at customer service, maybe you're getting a product that's being returned and so forth. So, uh, let's say the manager goes and calls a meeting, and you're there, and so it's like a group where they're trying to go ahead and advocate or seek solutions to how better we can serve customers, whether it's the problem of the product or whether it's the use of the product, whether it's just the customer's not liking it. There's a problem, so you're there to solve it. There's also decision-making groups, and a lot of us are a part of that. Now, some of you are saying, well, we make decisions in our families, our primary groups. You do, but sometimes those are done, let's say, by, as an example, if I was much younger, my parents would make the decisions for me, and I wasn't involved. So there's that concept of being involved, voluntarily or involuntarily, or not being involved at all. But decision groups are very important. We try to make alternative decisions regarding certain things, and this occurs at work. Study groups, that's another aspect. You're trying to attain a good grade in this course, for example. So you create a study group, whether it's online or in person. You meet, you study, you're trying to achieve an A, B, C, and so forth. There are therapy groups, there are committees, committee work. As an example, I'm on several committees here on our campus, whether it's Student Success Committee, whether it's Enrollment Management Committee. We come together, whether we're elected, appointed, and so forth, to accomplish certain tasks or problem solve. So some of these things definitely can commingle. There are different types of committees that you should know about. There are standing committees that are just perpetual or in perpetuity, and that means they're there in regards to yearly or annually or forever. Then what we have is ad hoc, and ad hoc groups are usually created to achieve a specific purpose, and then they're dismantled or done away with, and it ends once the task is done. And then we have also focus groups and several other groups. But I want to sort of talk to you about primary and secondary groups because you need to be able to distinguish between these, especially for your exams and when you're writing your analysis papers, if that's due at the end of the semester, and if that's what we're going to work on. If you have any questions, let me know. With that being said, have a wonderful day.